Today I wanted to make a video to document what my life has been like with 5 months of no alcohol. I'm going to talk about the changes I've seen throughout these 5 months. I'm going to talk about why I started doing this in the first place. Obviously, I don't knock that lifestyle. Totally cool if that's what you do. But I will, by the end of this video, invite you to join me on this journey. And if you want to come along, great. If not, I'll see you out sometime soon. One of my biggest fears when starting out with not drinking was I was going to be impacted socially. I wasn't going to be having as much fun. I wasn't going to be able to go out as often and hang out with people and laugh and be with my normal friends. Well, I'm going to dispel that myth right now. You can definitely still go to whatever you were doing before. You don't have to drink at these things. And as awkward as that may seem at first, no one's really going to ask you why you're not drinking. And if they do, they'll notice, they'll ask you once, but it's not nearly as much peer pressure as you would think. Your friends aren't going to hate you. Some of them may even secretly think it's cool. I don't know. But bottom line is you can still have that same social life that you had before. What I will tell you though is some of your friend groups will start to change a little bit. I've definitely noticed I hang out with some new people that I hadn't before, and that's come a lot from just different activities that I've picked up since I stopped drinking. Whether it's going to the gym in the morning instead of the evening, I've made some new friends who prefer to go early. I end up going out to lunch with some other veteran real estate agents or developers in real estate a lot more often and hanging out with them a little bit more often, mostly because now I'm not as hungover on weekends and I have a little more time and I think about that stuff a little bit more. So really a lot of my thoughts have shifted and I've been putting a lot more thought into my future and things that I want to work on. And that's just allowed me to naturally reach out to some people more who are interested in the same things I'm interested in, trying to build up the same dreams I'm trying to build up. And it just made it a lot easier to network with these people, having them on top of mind more often. And just to clear things up, again, I don't judge anyone who drinks. The reason I started doing this was more so for just the health benefits. I didn't have a bad experience with drinking or anything. I've always had a lot of fun. I've had a lot of fun with other people and being around other people, and very rarely had a bad experience with it. But I just wanted to take a sidestep from it. I didn't know how long it would last. I'm still not totally sure how long it's going to last. I initially told myself 1 year. We'll see. We're 5 months in. We'll see where it goes. But again, I don't have a problem with anyone who does drink, and I totally understand the lifestyle and why people get into it. One major factor that I've seen with no alcohol for 5 months, and that's a compound effect. There's a lot of compounding that's happened and a lot of changes that have happened as a result of just daily switches from not drinking. And that could be a bunch of different things, but at the end of the day, it boils down to, because I'm not spending my time drinking as often or not feeling as good the next day or whatever it may be, just little changes here and there, whether it be going to happy hour for an hour or two and then ending up watching TV after that, or waking up on a Saturday or Sunday not feeling quite as great as I would if I had just stayed in and drank water or went out and drank water or whatever. Little changes happen, and I'm sure you could admit the same thing, that you may not feel like doing something that could be a little more productive that day or that evening, or just the time that you spent out at happy hour could have been spent on something a little more productive that you had hoped to get done that you now keep pushing off. So for me, being there and fully present 7 days a week, no matter what, I've been able to accomplish a lot more in the past 5 months than I ever would have dreamed of. It's just, the compounding has just really made for experiences and a lifestyle that I couldn't have imagined would have happened this fast. It's elevated my mental clarity, and I, at this time, don't see myself going back to drinking anytime soon for that reason. I've been having just as much fun as back when I was, and I still have all the same friends. I've made a lot of new friends, and it's been a great experience for me so far. If you want to ask me any questions about any worries that you have with switching your lifestyle, or any questions about what may happen for you if you get into it, I'm an open book. I'd be happy to talk to you more about what the benefits could be for you, and just share my experience with it. So reach out to me. I have no problem with that. I saw the beginning of quarantine as the opportune time to stop drinking, with the fact that there weren't going to be many social pressures. And also, I'm going to be doing a bodybuilding competition in just under 8 weeks from now. So throughout that training phase, I knew I was going to have to cut alcohol anyway. So between those two things, it was a great time to get started. But at the end of the day, the main reason that I started doing this is whenever I really sat and thought about where I wanted my life to be, and thought about some of the dreams I had, whether it was where I wanted to be within a company that I started in being the CEO, or just the father figure I want to be down the line when I have kids, or the person I want to be, and the person that I can be, and the difference that I can make in my community. When I thought about this person, no matter which scenario it was in, they didn't really drink. It wasn't a part of their life, and to get to the life that I know that I want, I knew that it was a change I was going to have to make. Think about some of the elites in the business world, and some of the father figures that I look up to most, that I hope I can strive to be like someday. And none of these guys really have alcohol as a big part of their life. And I figured it would just be a lot easier for me at this opportune time between my bodybuilding competition and the fact that there isn't as much social pressure to go out. Now would be a great time to develop the habit of not drinking alcohol. So there you have it. That's why I did it. It was no bad experience, but just a lot of changes that I wanted to make to really create the life that I wanted. Thanks for tuning in and listening to everything I had to say today. I haven't really talked about this in depth with many people. A lot of people just ask why I'm doing it. Real short conversation, and then we move on with our lives. But there you have it. If you were curious, that's why I stopped drinking, and that's why I'll continue to stay on the no alcohol train. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll catch you next time.